Hello there. On a previous video, we talked about enums, and during the code of enums, we used an anonymous function, this right here. And I said on that video that on a future video, I was going to explain it. So, what is an anonymous function? It's a function without a name that is usually pretty short, and you define it and use it right away. So instead of having a named function like this one, this function has a name. It's print list, right? This one doesn't. It's like a callback from JavaScript. We define it to use it right away on each iteration of the enum.filter. That's why we don't give a name to it. Now, before we proceed, one other valid syntax for this, if the function that you're writing is too big, is you can break that down into multiple lines, right? This is also valid, and in case you have a huge anonymous function, you can define it like this. Now, there's actually another shorter syntax for anonymous functions, and it's using the capture operator. It works like this. You're going to remove the and the fn, right? You're going to wrap all this anonymous function with a parenthesis, and then you're going to use this and here. And now, instead of passing the first function parameter here before the dash, you're going to remove it. And then you're going to replace the first parameter with this and 1. Okay? This is the syntax that we use for an anonymous function where this is the first parameter. Now, what if I had a second and a third parameter? Well, you can guess what's the syntax. You can simply do the second parameter right here, or the third parameter, fourth parameter. This is how you type it. So it's a super short version of the anonymous functions. You don't even need to name your parameters. You're just gonna type first parameter, second parameter, third parameter, like this. And this is the super short version. Now, when you're doing a function call on Elixir, the parentheses is actually optional. So in theory, you can even remove the parentheses right here. But yeah, as you can see, it's optional. But once I click Command S, then Elixir ls fixes this for me and adds the parentheses, because it's probably more readable with the parentheses. If I just saw this on the code, I would be like, whoa, what's going on? I'm not sure what's happening. But with the parentheses, it's more clear. So let's see if this is working. We're going to open up the terminal, iex-s mix. Now, we need to get all the games and then filter them. Games equal games.getAll, right? And then we're going to do games.filter games with games. And there you go. We filtered the games that are not in stock and the price is too expensive. So nice. This works. Now, one final thing before I finish this video is, okay, but what if I want to do something that is very complex? Like I need a function that is huge. This is not gonna look beautiful, right? On a big function. This looks good if your function is small. What if I want to call a named function here instead of an anonymous function? What if I want to break this down further? So like creating def, like a private function, def p filter, where I get the game, and then I want to check if game.in stock and game.price is less or equal than 50, okay? And then I want to call the filter function here. Is it possible? Yes, it is. But it's on a different syntax. Like, you cannot remove this and type filter, for example. This is not going to work. If you want to call a named function as like a callback function to enum.filter, you need to do the following. You need to type the name of your function with this and before, followed by slash and the arity of the function. So here the arity is 1, right? It's expecting one parameter, the game. And that's how you do it. Let's see if it's working. Recompile, okay? I'm gonna save that again. Games.get, whoops, all right? Now, games.filter games with games, and that works. So that is up to you. Like, if the function is super short, I typically write the capture operator, where I just type 1 and 2 and 3 for the first and second and third parameter. But if your function is huge, then you can use a regular named function like this. And don't forget to write the and before and the slash arity at the end. Now, I'm going to give you one example of where I'm using this in production. On TechSchool, let me go back. Okay, here I have a good example. Whoops, that is too huge. Now, on the home page of TechSchool, I show the contributors to the project. Now, when I fetch the GitHub API, they return all the contributors and they also return the PandaBot. And I don't want to show the PandaBot as a contributor to my code base. So here's what I have. I have a private function called filterBotContributors, right? Where I get all the contributors. I do an enum.reject, and I do the shorthand, the short version of the anonymous function using the following. I have an anonymous function where the first parameter is the contributor, and I'm going to reject that if the contributor, this field type from the contributor is equal to bot, okay? Now, a second example that I have is this one, where I don't have an anonymous function. I have a named function, and it is defined somewhere else. So for example, I have this function list bootcamps that query all the bootcamps from the database, but I don't have the slug, like the shorthand form of the name of the bootcamp. So I created a separate function for that. And that function is down below, not here, here. So here I grab the bootcamp, I do some basic pattern matching, and then I add another field to the map, which is a slug, and I generate that slug, right? So here are two examples of a named function being used inside the enum.map, and then the short form of the anonymous function here. Now, I know the syntax is a bit different. We don't have anything like this on JavaScript, but I promise you, you get used to it. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.